A&B Combos Wrestling Edition. All right. I think we are in here. I think we did the dang thing. Am I live?
I don't know.
Yep.
Are you?
There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the most must-see wrestling review and live reaction show in all of the land. I'm talking about A&B Combos Wrestling Edition. Okay.
Bone Crushers, that's impatient as Sophie Dopey.
I swear. It took us a minute to get everything together. Just had to make sure, technically speaking. So we apologize for the small delay. We have channel mascots that got no kind of chill. So let me get their introduction out of the way. You're going to see. I'm speaking. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, let me introduce to you the most must-see wrestling review and live reaction channel mascots in all the land. And of course, we got another special little guest over here. She's a little kitty. But I'm going to get these two out of the way first. Coming in first, he's the original channel mascot. She is the Shih Tzu Terrier of Terror, weighing in at 15 pounds. Give it up for the one and only Bone Crusher. Our other channel mascot, she's a mini golden doodle mix from parts unknown, weighing in at 35 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Stella, the storyteller, Rose. And this little ditty over here, this is, her original name was Kitty Ortega, and she's since been rechristened Clouds Ortega. But
Kitty Clouds.
Yeah, this is Clouds Ortega right here. You see her, little kitty. There you go. She likes to come over here and do a little chill. What's up, everybody? Good to see you guys. Thank you very much for joining us for Money in the Bank predictions. Not going to take up too much of your time.
Let me give a shout out to the members and the mods that are up in the house.
And then, well, do you want to bring in our...
first and I'll do that really quick and then we can bring them in. JR Dugan.
What's up, JR?
Sophie Dopey.
OG Triple OG.
Likes the thumbnail.
Yeah, thank you. Work on that.
Wesley Franklin. Always a pleasure,
Wesley. Always a
pleasure.
The
Three Kings.
What up, Three Kings?
Matt Shepard.
Yes, sir.
Yo.
Hey, yo.
Okay, those are the mods and the members that are in the house. So let's go ahead and pull in our guest.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go ahead and lay it out to you. This is a member of the coalition.
Coalition.
I like the way you say that. A member of the coalition right here. This is the man, the myth, the legend. You know him as the wrestling historian. You know him as Steven Sandridge. You know him as Marked by Wrestling, the man that knows more about professional wrestling than any man alive today. May I present to you Marked by Wrestling. What's going on?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, channel mascots and channel regulars. Good to see you guys. And B, thanks for coming and visiting this week.
Of course.
It was fun. Yeah, you know, it's a sweeps week at Marked by Wrestling. I had to cast a special guest actress. So yeah. No, shout out to the coalition for bailing me out during NXT week as we are having high school graduation week in the Marked by Wrestling house. So yeah.
That is correct.
And
that is
shout out to NXT. Shout out to NXT for debuting whoever Mariah May is gonna be before I had to leave. So that was I was glad to get to see that together. What a surprise.
Yeah, I didn't believe it because y'all done put the wool over my eyes one too many times. She's over here like, Mariah May, they beat them all.
Yeah, he did not believe me.
I didn't buy for one.
Oh, that's right.
Second.
We told you about Ricky Saints for months.
Yeah, so he didn't buy it. I'm like, no, for real. He's like, yeah, whatever.
People up in the chat did the same. Y'all know you were foul for that. Y'all know you were. You were dirty.
And everyone in the chat's like, no, really?
Yeah, it really happened. I just think they should name her It's Gonna Be May. A little Justin Timberlake humor.
It's gonna be May.
Instead of Mariah December.
I just want to say somebody asked me to 5-finger discount your title while I was there. And I was appalled that he would ask me on air.
Well, you don't have a briefcase, so you have no claim to it.
Exactly.
Who would have?
I actually do have a briefcase.
But if we're gonna be in the business of cashing in on each other,
oh, we got a few times
promo for you.
You've got a title around your shoulder,
belt.
good sir.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wait a minute now.
Belt versus belt.
Hang on now.
Nah, it's all respect. All respect.
Gotta spit shine that. Okay.
But speaking of briefcases, we got some excitement this weekend. Some expensive excitement that's right down the road from us. So we'll be.
Does this lunchbox count?
Streaming it. Oh man, is that the Otis? Are those the Otis 4s right there?
It's just my little money in the bank lunchbox. We actually do have a couple money in the bank briefcases, but yeah.
While we're on that topic, I do love when they let the briefcase holder have it long enough for it to get customized.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like Liv cashing in the same night was exciting and all, but then her whole thing fizzed out. And the reality is that having the money in the bank briefcase is it's like walking around with gold. Like you don't just give it, like you gotta use it. It's gotta be suspenseful.
It's gold, Jerry. It's gold.
Exactly. Decorate it.
Call it round teen. Yeah, no, absolutely.
I'm not sure.
But yeah, even that whole show, has. I mean, I'm old school about the big four, PLEs, but Money in the Bank started out as just a gimmick match at WrestleMania, and here it is with its own show. That I will say, contrary to the Hell in the Cell PLE, is something you can book towards every year as its own event, versus really needing to have it earned. So I'm looking forward to this. That the possibilities are very interesting this year.
We look bigger when we look smaller than we actually are.
We look smaller than we actually are.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean on us?
I can zoom us in a little bit more. She wants me to zoom us in just a smidgen more. I didn't want to get.
We look so tiny.
I look like a baby.
I look like a baby. Come and get in my belly.
I heard YouTube takes away 10 pounds, so can't present the camera.
All right, so
okay, so you want to get a quick shout out to all the rest of the people I didn't shout out, and then we'll get started.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna run through it real quick. Like I said, this is not gonna take too long. If we have enough time, we're gonna let Steven lead us with the Worlds Collide predictions. So
it's not a huge card.
See. No, it's not. It's not. But there are a lot of possibilities, and we have a lot that we could dig into. So let me run down the chat real quick, and then we will get into it. First in line with that fast pass, none other than Tyrell Breed, Black Panther Gaming. We acknowledge you, and that's what I'm talking about. Thank you very much, sir. Fareed Saheed is up in the house. What's going on, Fareed? John Brooks is over here. You're saying that your pick for a women's Money in the Bank match is Roxanne, and for the men is L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
Okay. I see what's going on. Anthony's in the house. What's up, Anthony? Rick RT is up in the building. What's going on, Rick?
Rick RT.
And of course, at the 9-minute, 30-second mark, my baby sis. Mwah. Love you to death. Thank you for always showing up and supporting us.
Love you, sis.
We got the Bloodline era. What is going on, fam? Let me see, who else do we have up in the house? George Lewis is up in here. Good to see you, George. Trey Lucado.
Hey, Trey.
What's going on, Trey? And we got Rolling Bird. Keep rolling, Bird. What's up, Rolling? Let me see, who else do we have up in here? I'm getting through it pretty quick, actually, because this is not like our regular live watch along, so we don't have the exact same amount of people, but we do have 850 Big Boy. What up, 850? What's good with you? You know what they say to the Money in the Bank? Oh, you want to hit that fan?
No, it's okay.
And we get.
I'm good.
Oh, okay. We wow.
I am dressed, man.
I'd wish you'd save a little bit just for me.
Go on.
Okay. Sorry, I had to sing a little bit of Jealous song over there. Jeremiah McDowell, what is going on, my friend? Aaron Teagle, what's up? Happy Thursday. Braylon is up in the house.
Hey, Braylon. Hey, Aaron.
Dion Jenkins, what up, Dion?
Hey, Dion.
And of course, the one and only Shamanica Williams.
Shamanica in the
What's
house.
up, Shamanica? All right, folks, let's get this ticker up and fired. And let's get going. I'm going to go with this match right here. That's first in line. This is in really no particular order, but it's just sort of a thought that I had. So let me go ahead and break it down to you like this. First match that we're going to discuss. First match that we're going to discuss is going to be the Women's Intercontinental Championship. I'm talking about your current, reigning, defending, undisputed WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion, Lyra Valkyria.
Lyra Valkyria.
Taking on her fellow Irish last kicker, Becky the Man Lynch. Now, my question to everybody, and we will give the first nod to Mark by Wrestling. My question to everybody, is the man gonna come around and beat Bird Girl? I don't know what they call it. Actually, it's kind of, she said that she actually doesn't mind being called Bird Girl. Is the man gonna come around and beat this woman for this IC title? Is her time now? Steven, you have the floor.
Okay. Yeah, you know, this is a weird call because honestly, like the way they're booking, they really could take it either way, you know. And we've got SummerSlam, I guess, a couple of months away or so.
Yeah.
And who knows if Lyra will be on. I think there's one more show. Oh, there's a Saturday night's main event, right? In between now and then.
I believe that is the case.
And so I assume that'll be, you know, the placeholder PLE between now and SummerSlam. And the ladies have a hard enough time getting on Saturday night's main event. So I'm assuming Lyra's next big defense would, if she retains, that is, it would be, that's right. We do have, Sophie, we have Evolution too. So I'd imagine she'll probably show up at Evolution. But also, you know, at SummerSlam being a big main roster thing. So my question about that though is like, see, this is so hard. This is so hard because I want to say, I want to say Becky because like, even though I do believe, you know, strip away kayfabe and all that other stuff, that Becky's probably trying to do favors for Lyra and like establish her, you know. I genuinely believe that Becky's got, you know, that thought at heart, and she's playing the, you know, the fill in the blank Hogan role, you know, really well, and stuff. And also, I mean, we have not had I use this word loosely, but like a prestige women's wrestler hold either of those mid-card titles yet. None of the horsewomen have held it. And I'm not speaking low of any of the women who have held it. It's just nobody who's been a mainstay for a long time who's challenged for it has gotten near it yet, you know? And I feel like it's just a matter of time. I thought Bayley was going to be the one to do it, to be honest. And she's just been forgotten. And with this whole R-Truth Carlito stuff, I was sitting there thinking, oh, well, we're just going to wait for Bayley to come back. She's going to come back and be involved in this. But now, like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what to think when someone's not on my TV anymore. You know what I mean? And so I would hope maybe she could come back and cost Becky the match because there's a stipulation in this match. So if Becky loses, she doesn't get to challenge for the IC for as long as Lyra's the champion. And if Lyra loses, she has to raise Becky's hand in victory. I could see either of those happening, and I'm trying to think, well, who would Lyra face at SummerSlam? You know, who would she face at Evolution? And I guess there are options depending on who doesn't win the ladder match. But I'm arguing myself in circles, and so apologies to everybody for going back and forth. But so I'm just gonna stick with my gut, and I was a fool for picking Becky before, but I'm gonna do it again. I think this time she gets it. and she'll drop it back. I think she'll drop it back to Lyra, or Bayley might get involved, and we have a triple threat down the road for the title when Becky drops it. I don't know, but I do think Becky's not a Mercedes level belt collector, but I think she'll grand slam it before Sheamus does. God bless him.
Okay.
So I'm gonna pick Becky. I'm just gonna lock it in. Becky's my champion on our little unpublicized prediction spreadsheet. I put Becky in. So locked in. That's my call.
Locked in for Becky. Okay, are you get our predictions.
I don't need to because he's got the spreadsheet.
Oh, you've got the spread. Okay. I got it. All right. Ladies up next.
I mean, I know that I said the same thing he did last time, and then she lost. But here's the thing. Even though Lyra's really kicked it up, Becky has just looked like a punk. Like through this whole match. She keeps coming out, talking her mess, getting beat down. And why would we even do this again for her to get beat up again? Why would we keep doing this? It doesn't make any sense to me if she doesn't win this. Now, I think it could be a win where Bayley comes in and she's trying to cost Becky and inadvertently gives Becky the win. I do think Bayley will be a factor, and I think this still will lead into a Bayley feud, but I'm just going to say Becky again.
Really? Okay, so you've got Becky.
I think I know where this is going. Do not predict Lyra Valkyria if you're allergic to Lyra Valkyria.
I mean, I was allergic to Lyra Valkyria before Lyra Valkyria stepped up and spoke with her chest a little bit.
Oh, your rash went away, huh?
You know what I mean? She had a little bit of, I'm just saying, oh yes, I like it, man. Here's the situation. I'm conflicted. The beauty of this for me is the fact that these ladies, and this has been booked in such a way that I'm really not sure how this can go. Both are very, very confident. Both are really displaying absolute confidence that they're going to win these matches. Before the stipulation, I had Lyra all day. And then I was thinking about this. The idea that she has to raise her hand, that's humiliating. Now, I know, but the thing is also, Lyra said she'd do it. She has no problem doing it. So even though it's humiliating, and I know she would be disappointed to do it, I think she would do it, and it wouldn't be that big a deal.
Mm-hmm.
Because she said, I would happily do it. She said it. Becky, on the other hand, she's still crashing out a little bit. She's still having some issues. The way that this is being presented to us is you've got a woman here who feels like she's being bested by somebody who was her protege. I'm the Obi-Wan, you're the Anakin, and yet you've got the nerve to step to me. However, right. Becky doesn't have that Obi-Wan forced calmness about her, if you will. So she's crashing out because of it. And keep in mind, there's still this Bayley component that's out there. She's not injured. There's no legitimate reason that she would not show up. It's a question of, is she going to show up during or after? And I'm banking, get it? Get what I said there? I'm banking that she shows up during the match. Or and she shows up during the match and will in fact cost her the match.
Cost Becky?
It will cost Becky the match, whatever happens, whatever shenanigans take place, I don't exactly know how it's going to go down, because let me say it another way. Whatever shenanigans happen will result in Lyra retaining the Intercontinental Championship. Let me say that. Okay? Because you don't need the IC title on Becky for this Becky Bayley feud to be a thing. You don't. She can still be unhinged, and even more so because she didn't best Lyra. She didn't get that title. And now you have this other added component. It's like, okay, we've done this dance now. I'm moving on. You were clearly busy with Bayley. Good luck with that, and I'll see you on the other side, kid. So my prediction shall remain like it was last time, and I'm sticking with Lyra Valkyria.
All right.
To retain the Intercontinental Championship. Let me see what the people got to say about this. Lyra, for Rick RT, George Lewis says, Lyra will retain thanks to Becky, costing Becky Lynch. Sophie Dopey says Becky, since Becky almost won last time. That's fair. Trey's got Lyra. Matt's got Lyra. Anthony's got Lyra. Bayley cost Becky the match. Okay, see, we got a lot of Bayley situations coming up in here.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, their ship if Becky loses, she can't. That's right. That's right. Lyra for JR. Okay, so we got, it's interesting. I think it's a little more for Lyra. But Three Kings says it's kind of hard to see Becky losing again.
Mm-hmm.
But his heart is rooting for Lyra. That's fair. Lyra to retain. All right. So I think let me ask you all this question, because I'm seeing a lot of Bayley interference. Steven, dear, do you sense a Bayley return at Money in the Bank?
I already said that. Absolutely.
I don't think so.
It's now or never.
You don't think so?
Why
not? Because we need to, not because I don't think it's appropriate. I think it would fit, but also I just think about them spacing out their storytelling a little bit between now and Saturday night's main event, Evolution, SummerSlam, and a match that has both Bayley and Becky in it, given how long it's been since they've shared a ring together as adversaries, is something worth, big spotlight time. And so I think they can use Raw or use Evolution or use Saturday night's main event to have that, because I think, I'm not making any predictions, but I think there are other opportunities for there to be returns or interferences on this card that could be the thing people talk about. And one thing I think WWE does well compared to other organizations that will remain nameless, they can space out their holy moments, so one doesn't overshadow the other. And so I mean, it does feel a little overdue at this point, Bayley's reintroduction into this story. But but just looking at the rest of the card, I feel like if they have any sensible bone in their bodies, which I'm not sure they do anymore, to be honest. But if they do, they will want an isolated moment for people to be talking about Becky and Bayley and Lyra rather than talking about one of two briefcase holders or whatever happens in this, viral superstar main event thing, So, so anyway, that's just it's just an educated guess. I mean, I think it's totally plausible. I'm not shutting that down. I just, if it were me, I'd hold off, because you could make, if it was Becky and Bayley one-on-one, or even if it was a triple threat, like, you could make that a cornerstone moment of the next Evolution show. That could be a co-main, if you wanted it to be. And so you could have, see, like I said, I'm not sold on it. Like, she could appear afterwards and try to be like, I got next, especially if Becky wins the title, because Bayley's like, you're the one who took me out. Now I'm going to take something from you.
Right.
But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, it's certainly a possibility, and it's not crazy to predict that. I just I don't. Yeah, I'm just gonna be conservative on that one. I think and think it's not going to be this weekend.
Okay.
Hey Zach, we're well. How are you?
Good to see you, Zach. Good question, Sophie Dophie. I'm not entirely sure. I put this up as what I think may start off Money in the Bank. Do you guys think this is actually going to be what starts off Money in the Bank, this match?
I don't think so. I feel like with the Royal Rumbles, when they have a men's version of a match and a women's version of a match at their big shows, whether it's War Games, Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank, I feel like they tend to pick one of those matches to open the show. So you open it hot and close it hot.
Right.
So I feel like one of the briefcase matches is going to start off. I feel like that match will go second, though.
And it should be the men's because the women's Money in the Bank match is much hotter.
The women's should. Well, I think we're getting the tag match as the main event, but I do think the women's match should go closer to the end, though. I agree with you, though. I think the women's match is more important than the men's this year.
All right. I think these are fair statements. So then let's go ahead and move on. Let's bring it to the women. Let's talk about that. All right. This is the women's Money in the Bank match. Now, I think this is going to be rather interesting. The reason why I think this is I am very much invested more so in this than I am in the men's. I was looking at this and I got to say, and there's a match coming up on SmackDown. I'm going to bring it up that I'm excited about. And again, deals with the women. So here with this women's Money in the Bank, you have some of the newcomers, Julia from NXT, Roxanne Perez, NXT, just called up, Stephanie Valkyria, NXT, a returning Little Miss Bliss in Alexa Bliss. We're talking about Rhea Bloody Ripley. And oh girl, man, where has this Naomi been all my life? With the blades in the hair and everything. I have never been as excited for a women's match as I am for this until, and I just got to mention this, until I saw what they got coming up tomorrow night on SmackDown. And this is a little taste. This is a little taste. This is a little preview. All right. This is a 6-woman tag match. Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, Stephanie Valkyria to take on Naomi, Roxanne Perez, and Julia. And I said to myself, that is stacked. Okay, that has got potential. We all saw that moment that Rhea Ripley and Stephanie shared, and all I said was, I need that match in my life. I need that match in my life. I'm totally fine with them teaming up, but I want to see this friction because in this Money in the Bank match is every woman for themselves. You ain't got no friends,
right?
When it comes to Money in the Bank. So I had Steven up first for the first one. Let's go, ladies first on this one. Who you got? Now, let me bring it up for you one more time. Let me bring it up so you can take a look. See.
Let me just see. So we looking at. I mean, that is stacked. Stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks.
What do you mean stacks? Huh? What do you
mean by that? Huh?
You did this without my consent? Huh?
This match is so under, boss.
I am so excited about this match. And as much as I have love for all of these ladies.
Come on now.
As impressed as I've been with all of these ladies, if we don't give the Academy Award winning Naomi this win, I am going to be so mad.
So mad.
She is doing her best work and she is just something to be just feared. Take caution, ladies. This is her time. This is her time. And I need her to take this.
So you're saying Naomi for the win.
Naomi for the win all day.
You locked that in.
Locked and loaded.
Final answer.
Final answer.
Do you want to call a lifeline?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Steven, the floor is yours.
All right. Ooh, I'm really looking forward to this match. There's so much talent here. I'm a little shocked, that we have 3 really recent call-ups in this match already. So let me just break it down a little bit. And go by process of elimination. The first thing I want to do is get something out of the way. And this is not throwing shade on who I'm about to try to pull out of this match, but personally, I feel like there are some stars that once you achieve a certain stratosphere, as the American Dream would say.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. Lay it on.
Once you achieve a certain stratosphere, you don't belong in this match no more, baby. Because if you need a title match, all you got to say is, I'm Rhea Bloody Ripley, baby, and I challenge you to a title match. I don't think Rhea needs the briefcase. And honestly, I think if her winning this match would be a mistake, because she's not the kind of wrestler who needs a shortcut, which is kind of why I was a little in my feelings about her showing up at WrestleMania. I'm glad we got the match because the match was great. But like the way she got her way into it, I'm like, that's not what Rhea does. You know what I mean? And so like Rhea is a freaking road warrior. She's Hawk and Animal, man. Like she doesn't need a shortcut to get into the title picture. Some of these other ladies are either brand new or a little underhanded. And that is briefcase stuff right there for me and my fandom and my preference. So I would prefer not to see Rhea win this match. However, the mix up of ladies they have in there, I cannot wait to see. I cannot wait for that moment where ladders all fall down and all the ladies are out of the ring and Rhea and Stephanie are the only 2 standing there looking at each other. I know we got to get that moment. And you know what? If they just like do the Rock Hogan, stare at the crowd and then just start throwing bombs for a minute, I would love to see, all due respect to Damian Priest on SmackDown now, give me a Terror Twins 2.0 just for a minute.
Just for a minute.
Thank you.
And send them after Liv and Raquel or something,
Yes.
That could be a lot of fun. Nevertheless, I'm fantasy booking and I'm getting away from this match. I don't mean to. I'm a little nervous. I am a little nervous for Stephanie because she's pulling double duty. And this is her real main roster debut. She's working Worlds Collide in a tag match as well. And that's always how I used to think about like John Morrison and Kofi Kingston in the Royal Rumble. You're there to do something amazing, but it's also risky. And you could end up losing the match if something goes wrong when you're not supposed to. So I think she's there to make a good impression. Julia is eyeing up Zelina Vega already. We saw that on SmackDown, which I think is a great fit for her. And I'm just drawing this all out because it's so predictable. Naomi deserves this. This is this situation is tailor-made for what Naomi is doing right now. Like, and she doesn't even have to dominate in the match. Like she can be like what Edge used to be in these matches when he would sneak his way into getting that. Or even CM Punk. CM Punk wasn't a dominant. He was still kind of an underdog wrestler when he was winning the briefcases, but like and this, I'll tell you what, this show, and I think this match in particular will tell us a lot about who the TKO WWE is right now.
Yes.
And I do think that the outcome will be either Rhea or Naomi. And I don't think Rhea is a bad wrestler. She's obviously a proven commodity. She's amazing. She's goated. She's never coming back down unless she turns into Hulk Hogan or something one of these days. Now, but she's a safe pick too. And Naomi is doing something generational right now, specifically for her. It is the best work of her career. She has open threads with Bianca and Jade. And do you know how much hotter those angles would be if the title was involved.
Mm.
If she could roll up on Tiffany at any point and take that belt, and now Bianca, Jade, and now at Summer, I mean, this is shotgunning it a little too fast, but I'm just trying to pitch an idea here. Now, could you imagine Bianca, Jade, and Naomi for the women's title at SummerSlam?
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, I would say Evolution, but that's a little too fast, I think. But
it's up Ken 88.
Nevertheless, I just this feels like, you know, in old school wrestling terms, and not even old school, just like conventional wrestling booking thinking, this should be a slam dunk decision to capitalize on the work that Naomi's doing, because out of everyone's winning that match, I mean, that would be, I think she's got the most heat out of any of them right now. And she's so committed to it. This woman went on social media after R-Truth was cut and tagged Jade Cargill in there and said, "I hate that we lost him and kept you."
Yeah, I mean, that was so, good.
On Jade Cargill's birthday, she took a video of putting razor blades in a cake that said "Happy Birthday, Jade" and was packing it up. Like, this woman is putting in work. I mean, and like, there needs to be gold around Naomi's waist before we even get to Survivor Series. Like,
and the wheelchair comment. Come on. Like,
that too, right? And that's the thing, is that I think Bianca is on the cusp of being ready for action again. So like, and something I have loved, I know I'm advocating for Naomi to have the title here, but something else that's been great is seeing the benefit of having women's feuds that are not centered around a title. Like, that is elevating women's wrestling on the main roster, like something that NXT does all the time, by the way, guys. That are in the chat and stuff like that. There's a great example of elevating women's wrestling. And I think we need more women's feuds that aren't title centric. And Naomi and Jade and Bianca have killed it, not involving a title. And I think it's time to reward that.
You know, it's funny you would say that, because that's exactly what I was saying in regards to Bayley and Becky Lynch. They don't need a title to have a thing. You know what I mean? And that's why I that's pretty much the reason why I'm sticking with Lyra. The title will be fine, and it would be interesting to kind of see how they get remixed into that, if you will, the title picture, especially because Bayley got, you know, X'd out of Mania and the whole thing. And I think this is a situation where they're like, look, just play it cool. We'll find the right spot for you to come back in here and do what you got to do. And it was I forget what was the PLE where Bayley brought in Damage Control, brought back Dakota, and
SummerSlam.
What PLE was that?
That was SummerSlam.
It was SummerSlam, right?
SummerSlam, yeah.
So for me, there's precedent for her showing up at a PLE with a big surprise. You know, something's going to happen. I think it feels like the right time. If you're not injured and there's really nothing else going on, and if the whole plan is for Lyra to go on and Becky to feud with somebody, it's got to be Bayley. Just, to me, feels like the right time for her to come back in here and do that. So that's why I like what you said there. In regards to this, well, let me see what the people got to say first. Let me just run it through, because I want to try to keep up in the chat as best as possible. Then I'm going to go ahead and give what I got to say in regards to it. So let me see. Fareed's got Rhea. George's got Rhea. Anthony's got Naomi. Sophie's got Naomi, so she could cash in on Tiffany. Trey's got Stephanie. Jade Cargill is going to cost Naomi, so says George. Michael McCarr, what is going on? Has got Alexa. Wesley, Naomi. Dion says, I think men's Money Bank will open. Then Lyra. Okay, I got what you're saying, Dion. Cameron Valencia, what is going on? Has got Rhea. Roland Bird says, my top pick is going to be Rhea. Julia and Roxanne. Yeah, that's true. Rhea for Dro. What's up, Dro Davidian?
Hey, Dro.
Three Kings has got Naomi. Three Kings. Okay, I got you. All right. So I'm seeing a lot of Rhea. I'm seeing a lot of Naomi. JR says, my heart is saying Naomi, but my head is saying Alexa. Interesting. Interesting. All right, so let me go ahead and just lay it out here. And I apologize. Doing predictions is hard for me to keep up in the chat, so I'm not even going to pretend like I can.
Right.
But I'll do the best I can.
They have each other to talk to.
I'll tell you who's not winning this. Julia. I think that's an easy takeaway.
Wow.
I think that's an easy takeaway. You know, again, excited, love all these ladies. Loving heel Julia much more than face Julia, liking her whole stilo right now, but she ain't winning this. I'm looking down the line. I'm not looking short term. I'm looking, who do they want to carry this thing around? And the question is, how long? I personally like it when somebody carries it a really long time. I hate the quick cash in.
Yeah.
You know, tease it all you want. Come out here, do the thing. Oh my gosh, you're going to cash in, and then don't. Not a whole heck of a lot. Don't do that whole heck of a lot. But I like people to hold on to that briefcase for a little bit. You know, make them wait, make them sweat. I want to see them show up on different promotions. And I was saying this to somebody earlier today, and we'll talk about this when we get to the men's. You can cash in on anybody. So you always have people showing up on either brand, including NXT. Well, there's nothing to say that now you couldn't show up on TNA wrestling, TNA television.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, there's always that possibility because that is a heavyweight championship. Just throwing that out there. Just throwing that out there. But we'll get there. We'll get there. So when it comes to the women, Julia is out. Roxanne is out. I know they're high on these ladies. Obviously, they're on the main roster. This ain't your time to shine. The Money in the Bank briefcase, that means a lot. That's sort of a brass ring, if you will. You can cash in on anybody to become the face of the company. Whether or not it is a successful cash in or not remains to be seen, but I'm trying to think long term. So Julia, Roxanne, out. Alexa Bliss, welcome back. Former champion. Sister, I love you. I do. I don't see it. Reason why I don't see it, because she did a little thing, whatever's going on with Charlotte Flair, and this briefcase is just going to get in the way of that.
Yeah, that's something.
It's going to get in the way of that. You don't need it. Whatever's going on there, I want to see that flourish, and it doesn't need to involve the briefcase. So let's just go ahead and X that out. All right. This leaves Stephanie, Naomi, Rhea Ripley. Again, all of these women, former champions. Okay. Like you said, Steven, I absolutely do not think that Rhea Ripley needs this briefcase at this time, even though Mommy in the Bank has a very nice ring to it.
It does. It does.
A very nice ring to it.
True.
And I'm sure, much like Senior Money in the Bank, she could do something to that briefcase.
Yeah.
Very nice ring to it.
I feel like it would look a lot like Priest's case, though. You know,
Probably would.
But
Probably would.
Doesn't mean they wouldn't do it.
Have some chains hanging off of it or something.
Don't mean it wouldn't happen.
Punk it out.
Right.
You know, I can see it. I can see it. But we've seen her in the title picture for a bit now. You know, and I think there's a little bit of they call her, what is it, Rhea Hogan right now is what they call her.
Yeah.
Right. I think there's a little bit of that that's been going around, a little bit of Rhea fatigue in some aspect, and whether or not that's legitimate or not, I don't know. But I don't like the moniker because I feel like that's the same rap that they've been giving Charlotte Flair. And Charlotte Flair, even though she might be in a title picture right now, there's no gold around that waist. And I think that's going to do Rhea a disservice to win it and go and get back in that title picture. So that leaves Stephanie and that leaves Naomi. I would not mind Stephanie winning this thing. I don't think that she's going to win this thing. I think it's too soon for her to win this thing. I think she just got here and she needs to pay some dues. The thing that I have found, in my estimation, is even though you have somebody that comes up and you love them, and I love the fact that this lady from NXT has come up on the main roster and still this crowd is hot as if it's an NXT crowd. But the crowd turns on you like that, like a pack of wild dogs.
Yeah.
If they feel like you're constantly getting shortcutted and pushed to the front.
Yeah. Too much, too fast.
Too much, too fast. You don't pay your dues. And we feel a type of way about that.
Too fast,
you know what I mean?
Furious.
And this is exactly what I'm talking about. And this is, but we know she's a beast and we know she can go. Therefore, my friends, this only leaves one. There can only be one.
There can only be one.
And my pick is Naomi. I know Jade Cargill will probably want to come in here and try to do something. Try to do something to her. I know she going to back up. You know what I'm saying? Bust a move. I thought she going to bust a motherfucker move. But my point is, I do not think that this will play a factor ultimately. Even if Jade shows up and they get into a whole thing, and they might fight off into the distance, and you think you've forgotten about Naomi, don't count her out, because she'll come right back in when you least expect it, like a bad case of the herp. Okay? For that 1, 2, 3. I think somebody's going to get the drop on somebody. I don't know who is going to be in that ring. I think somebody's going to hit their finisher. Could be Riptide, could be anything. And they're going to try to get that win. And then in comes Naomi. We've seen it. Throws them out the ring. Gets that win.
Yeah.
So just because Jay is going to interfere, I do not think that is going to play an ultimate factor in the outcome of this match. That, my friends, is how I feel about it.
Here's a hypothetical to cook everybody's noodle. What if Jade does interfere and it backfires and Naomi wins and we get a little bit of standoff between Jade and Rhea? We haven't seen just the tease, just the tease.
Yeah, we only got a tease for that. So
yeah.
I would love that.
Because, Jade gonna look at Naomi like she's short, but she's not gonna be able to get away with that.
We need that feud anyway at some point. The Rhea feud. Mm-hmm.
I do like, and because these are the kind of matches and these are the kind of shows where WWE is like, hey guys, just want you guys to know we do know we have both these people on our roster.
That's right.
And we've got it in the back of our mind. We'll pull it up at some point, because they did that with Braun Breaker and Jacob Fatu that one time too.
Right.
And I ain't forgot about that for a second.
Right.
So,
the only thing I can see it. I think we could use it. I would love to see it. The only problem is they're on separate brands.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Well,
so I don't know how they would ultimately work that out.
Right. Well, yeah, what does that mean?
I know what you mean. I could definitely see it, but also, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if Rhea won the briefcase and decided to cash in on whoever the SmackDown champion was, solve that real quick, because she can't beat Io.
Right. You're absolutely right.
Anyway,
but that's what I'm thinking. Also, I'm thinking down the line. I'm thinking who is going to be champ down the line. You have Io, you have Tiffy. I don't know what the game plan here is. I feel like they've been highlighting Tiffy as the champ a little more so than Io. Io's had her moments. I don't think she's gotten like Tiffy time moments, if you will. So I'm wondering if they're looking to possibly move that title up off of her onto somebody else that might be a little more engaging. I don't know. No, she did. No. This whatever this is, she's hot right now. I'm not saying that she's not hot. I just there's a part of me that still feels like she's you got the two piece over here and she's the biscuit. I don't know.
In a way she's still
slap it with a biscuit.
You're talking to me about biscuits, man. Come on. She but no, to a degree she is still being treated like that third wheel in that feud, even though the purpose of that feud was to show that she wasn't, and with her going over. But also I don't think this time it's disrespect. And part of me throwing the idea of Jade and Rhea out there is just this idea that like they have so many women to utilize right now that they can mix it up a little bit. Like there's a lot of opportunities for fresh matchups right now. And I think coming out of this match, they really ought to explore. Hunter needs to bring Sean up to the main roster just for a little while, just to intern for a few weeks and be like, hey man, how do you book women's feuds and have them not be for the title? Because so many of these women could be beefing right now and it not have to be around the title picture.
Speak on it.
And we could get some really entertaining stuff. And they got Evolution coming up, so they might as well start building towards some stuff. That would be
Speak on it. And I like what the Bloodline era said right here. Raquel Rodriguez sucks. Raquel Gonzalez is missing. Yeah. I've talked about that ad nauseum. I'm not going to talk about it no more. Yeah, it hurts my heart. It hurts my heart. All right, let's go ahead and move on right here. Let's get into the men's. This is interesting. This is interesting. All right. 6 men. I'm not as invested in this as I was the women, but let's get into it. LA Knight, Penta, Andrade, El Grande Americano, Vente Latte, Solo Sikoa, T-Moo, Tribal Chief. And we're talking about the visionary, the revolutionary, the architect, Seth friggin' Rollins. Folks, I don't know how you feel about this. I know how I feel about this. And I'm dying to hear how Steven feels about this. Steven?
Have you gone first yet?
I will go first. We got 4 matches. This is the third. Steven, you have the floor.
All right. Well, let's rip the Band-Aid off. Our 3 Mexican brothers, Penta, Andrade, and El Grande, aren't winning this match. They're here for the spots. They're here for the cool stuff. And I'm for that. Like, I think
he said El Grande. That's funny.
I
as a Mexican brother.
Catch that. Nevertheless, I mean, he is from the Gulf, so nevertheless, but
we don't know who is under that mask. Okay.
Yeah, we don't know. Unproven. Exactly. Everybody, throw your prayers up now, though, because somebody, I have a feeling, is taking a Penta Destroyer onto a ladder.
I fully agree with that.
And that's going to get nasty. That might actually, and like, listen, let's just pull down the curtains for a second. That might be the sole reason that El Grande's in this match, because he takes it probably better than anybody. It's like physically might be the best pro that takes care of himself, you know, in the ring. And I mean, that could be a big part as to why he's there. So for me, that just leaves Solo, LA Knight, and Seth Rollins. So I said this before about Rhea. I feel the same way about Seth. I know that like Seth is already like the main eventer of Raw. And like whoever like Jay has got Gunther on Monday after this. Mm-hmm. And unless something really catastrophically weird happens on Monday, it feels abundantly clear that Seth is waiting on whoever comes out of that match. So like I mean, he doesn't need the briefcase. And a lot of people have been like, oh, Roman could come back, you know, and he might. Like, and also now we know Punk is not in that match. So Punk could come in and cost Seth too. Like Seth has enemies. He's got haters. Enemies. Yeah. Yep. He's got 99 problems. So like he's he's
briefcase ain't one. Hit me.
Right.
Yes,
hit
sir.
Me. But anyway, so yeah, he got I'll say it and I'll get it out of my system. He's got folks to make sure his casket's closed. All right. Like he don't want to he's got beef coming down the line. So I think there's enough lingering story threads out there to ruin Seth's chances to win. And that brings me down to LA Knight and Solo. Now, I want to put this out into the universe in hopes that it will be reverse psychology and not happen. The absolute most gutting, sickening, heartbreaking resolution to this match for me would be Solo Sikoa being the one who robs Jey Uso of that title. Because that would reignite the whole bloodline thing. And like, that might be the dirtiest thing that could happen because Solo looks like a clown right now. Like he's being clowned by Jacob. His Temu bloodline thing didn't go over, which I mean, it was never really supposed to.
Yeah.
And if that, talk about the sneaky, underhanded, you know, Michael Cole used to say, ultimate opportunist, you know, all that stuff. Oh boy, that has some gas to it.
Okay.
But hopefully this gas has brakes. And because I don't want it. So let's bring it on down. You said it earlier in the show. You like it when someone has the briefcase for a long time. It's sustained. I do like it too when the briefcase kind of becomes a little bit of a part of someone's gimmick. Yeah. LA has been the bridesmaid to he's very close to becoming the Shelton Benjamin of this match. And getting Mega over in this match, and the crowd wants to see him get it. And like, he has not, and he, I said this about somebody else last time we talked about a show, but he has not dropped an ounce of pop since he ascended here.
True.
He's played second fiddle to Damian Priest. That crowd they weren't livid at Priest, but they were ready to go nuclear for LA Knight to win. Then Drew won, which at the time I thought was a smart decision until they just burned it the same night. They are in LA. I think this would be a great, easy, cheap pop opportunity to cement LA Knight. And also, like, him with the briefcase means he wouldn't have to be fooling around with Jacob Fatu in the US title anymore. Right. So you can have Jacob deal with whoever Jacob wants to deal with. They want Jacob to deal with. And LA Knight having the briefcase would still make him set apart. It would still make him special without him having to take a title off of someone else. Okay. So he could, and so if it were me, obviously, like, I don't as much as I mean, I might be one of the biggest LA Knight marks in our community, which is fine. Like who you like, guys. That's part of the joy of being a wrestling fan. But even I don't necessarily think he needs to be cashing in on John Cena. I think that would be weird. I would lose my mind if it happened. It would make it for a heck of a Geekbox clip, but yeah. I don't think that's going to happen. I could see him ruining, like, if Gunther managed to get one over on Jey Uso, I could see him ruining Gunther's party. Not like the same night or anything, not that fast, but like him to be the guy to show up. Because Gunther losing titles, it's always best when he seems to lose it to someone that aesthetically he seems like he's just better than. You know what I mean? Like homeless looking Sami Zayn, you know, Yeet Yeller Jey Uso. Like, people you're like, really? Like, but that's part of the fun of seeing Gunther get embarrassed as a heel. So I would have him beat Gunther. But anyway, I think it's just one of those things, like WWE, and like I said, this match will also be telling as to who WWE is now, with how they win. And it doesn't necessarily have to mean LA Knight, but I'll say this: LA Knight and Naomi are both good case studies of capitalizing on someone's popularity and trying to make something with them instead of just cashing in on someone who's already at the top. And so I'm not gonna say the sky is falling, but if LA Knight if he doesn't win, or if he doesn't at least have that, like, he's almost about to win moment, and then the guy who really wins, I'm afraid he will be relegated to like Coco Beware, Jake the Snake status of a guy who's always going to be beloved and always be remembered in his era, but not a champion. Even though he was a champion, even though he was US champion. Like, it's different now than it used to be, you know, because they only had a couple of titles back in those days I just referenced. But I'm just really scared that he's going to be popular sideshow act LA Knight for the rest of his time in WWE. And I don't even care if he only gets a month or two with a title. Like, that's all he needs just to be solidified. Like, it's the Mark Henry Hall of Pain stuff. Sometimes a wrestler just breaks out and ascends and overperforms and overconnects with the crowd, and you just need to do something about that. And I think LA Knight's overdue for that. And I think Naomi's, no Cena puns intended, Naomi's time is now for that. And anyway, that's just my philosophy on these kinds of matches working itself out. But I'll probably be wrong. I'm a little pessimistic, but man, it's more fun as a fan going with your heart than your head. So I'm going to go LA Knight. Yeah,
that's fair enough. I do want to give a quick shout To Samantha Poole.
Samantha, if you're still in here, let's give you a birthday song.
Samantha Poole birthday.
This is your birthday song. It isn't very long. Hey!
Happy birthday to one of the OGs of this channel, Samantha Poole. And for your birthday, you're getting a big year. That's what I'm talking about.
Samantha. Hope
Happy
you're
birthday.
enjoying your birthday.
Had to go ahead and throw that
Send
out
us some
there.
birthday pics.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So you've got LA Knight for the win. What do you think? Let me put it up. Let me put it up.
Yeah.
You're the folks. You're the fine folks.
My wife tells me I can't say that word in the house anymore because that's all she thinks of when I say it.
Sorry, I gotta veto that point of parliamentary procedure, Mr. Chairman. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good word.
Here's the thing. In my heart, I would love for Andrade to get it. I know he's not. I know that they brought him back and looked like they were going to give him, like they were going to do that Apollonia thing.
Uh-oh.
You know how back in the day when Prince and Apollonia broke up, he just took Apollonia out of Apollonia 6 and then dropped Vanity in, and it was Vanity 6 with the exact same background dancers. So I was hoping that they were going to just do that same thing, and they were going to give him Angel and Garza, whatever.
They might still.
But it just doesn't look like, as good as he is, man. I don't see them giving it to him. And I honestly, I don't want Americano to get it, but I can only imagine that. I mean, he has a gimmick, so a gimmick don't need a gimmick, but he would probably really gimmick the heck out of that briefcase. I would love to see what that briefcase would look like.
Oh no,
Americano in the bank or whatever.
Yeah.
Wow.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
But I know he's been getting some victories lately, but I don't think this is going to be one of them. I think if Seth didn't make so many enemies along the way, not only do you have his current enemies with CM Punk, Jay, and Sammy, but you have Roman Reigns. So as much as I think that they want to put something on Seth to solidify him as the main new faction, I kind of feel like they're trying to make him the new Roman. I don't know that he's going to be that. And I just think there's too many numbers out there to let that happen. So I'm on the fence between Seth and Solo, because Solo needs it. He really, really needs it. They really did try to do that whole thing with him, and Jacob came in and just way outshined him. And because Jacob has the title and his brother Jay has the title, him having the briefcase can really hint at some moments of trying to fight either one of them for the title. And it would kind of bring a little bit of legitimacy back to him. And so I'm stuck between Solo and a Seth place.
Okay. Gotta choose though.
There must be one.
Gotta choose.
No pesos in the quesos for Becky.
To be honest with you, I'm not. I mean, I'm not mad at Penta either. I mean, he's just so good and he's so fire too. I don't really feel like that he needs it because he is stayed so hot since he got in here. I just don't see them giving it to him either, as good as he is. I wouldn't be mad at it. I'm a huge fan, but if I gotta choose one, I'm gonna choose Solo.
Wow.
Believe it or not. Not because that's who I want to win.
Solo Sikoa.
I'm not saying that's who I want to win.
Wow.
But that's who I really think needs it.
Is
and
it
that can bring that bloodline thing back around.
Is it true that WWE is going to Mexico City this year? There were rumors about that months ago, but because that would be really entertaining for a Penta case, just a thought.
That is a fine question. We should look that up. Anybody in the chat, you can look that up and let's see.
Dion said, "You." I'm not saying that's who I want to win. Don't get me wrong. I want Andrade. I would love for Penta. I just don't think it's going to be either one of them.
Yeah, it looks like it's still on. I think they're doing this mid-July, so it looks like it's still going to go on.
Dude, Grande with the case, though, I didn't even entertain the possibility of that.
Oh
not only would Twitter melt down, I would play the fiddle as it burned. I would love every second of it.
Would be it would
unhinged.
Be rough. It would be and then that briefcase would be El Grande in the bank or whatever. It would be really, really funny.
Could you imagine the loaded headbutt taking down Jey Uso? Oh my gosh, people would. I'm sorry, I don't mean to put that out there. I'm only saying it because I don't believe it's possible.
People have wanted Chad Gable to have an opportunity to have a title.
That's not Chad Gable.
If this was Chad, which I'm sure it's not, but if it was, this would be the way he would get it.
If Chad had qualified for this match, I'd be rooting for him for sure. Unfortunately, he lost this qualifier.
I don't know what to tell you. And that's another thing too. As much as I'm looking forward to Worlds Collide, you're right. The thing is, I've questioned this before. You got somebody performing on something, and they've got a big PLE coming up. This woman's performing twice in the same day. Talking about Stephanie Blackhair, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now she's proven herself to be a fighting champion, and she's got that fighter spirit, and I appreciate it. But you don't want anything to go wrong in Worlds Collide that could negatively impact her performance at minimal. Not even talk about whether or not she's going to win the match or not. At minimal, because it ain't easy. And I think it's probably going to be. It's nice that she's in a tag match, so you have the opportunity to rest, and that's probably the best case scenario for her. So I am kind of looking forward to that, but I almost say I'm a little concerned. So you're right about that from earlier, and it just reminded me of that when you said this in regards to Chad and whatnot. Right out the gate, love Andrade. I have no issues with any of these guys for the most part. Andrade ain't getting this. He ain't getting this. They've, like you said, they haven't really done much of anything for him. They don't have him in any feuds. They have him in nothing really of any significance.
Storyline.
Whatever he's got going on backstage with Los Lothros and all that, that's fine. I'm waiting to see this come to fruition. But in the meantime, in between time, nothing. Okay. Penta. Hey, look, no issues with Penta. Crowd favorite. Love him. He ain't winning. I just hate to say it like that, because right now he doesn't need it. He doesn't need the title at this juncture, whatever title it is. El Grande, that's a very interesting case. I saw in a chat earlier some people saying they're already kind of getting tired of him. I'm definitely not tired of him. I love it. I think he's one of the best things going in the main roster right now. And I think he can do wonders with it. But I also, I don't necessarily want the briefcase to be used as comedy fodder for him. I feel like that would be what it would be used for more than anything, which is kind of crazy because let's just be honest, whoever's under that mask, this El Grande, he's a little comedic. He's got some comedy chops because he kind of knows he's a gringo in a mask, and he's doing whatever he can do. I have no issues with it, but I don't think the briefcase needs to be attached to it. All right. This leaves me with LA Knight, Solo, and Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, if he got this thing as a leader of Rollins Angels, this is kind of what I'm calling them. As a leader,
picturing them doing the pose right now, you know. Paul Heyman on the phone. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt, but that was too good. Too good.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello, angels. Yeah, I can see that.
Hi, Paulie.
I could totally see it. But legitimately, and somebody in his position should, as a leader, you're supposed to lead by example. You should have accolades. You should have a title. You should have something of some significance that also goes to show how much you are a leader. Like, here, guys, this is what you should aspire to. Get on my level. But there's the Roman factor. There's even the CM Punk factor.
Right.
I hate to say it like that, but I think, I don't know. Seth has got a squad. He's got a lot of man meat. I don't know. I just see shenanigans taking place and Seth being kind of X'd out of this to some degree. So I don't think he's going to win it. This leaves me with Solo, and this leaves me with LA Knight. And again, I'm looking down the line. I'm looking main event. I'm looking, who do we really want to see cash in? Who would the crowd really care about cashing in on? No offense to Solo Sikoa. No offense to the street champion. But like you said, unless it was like Jey Uso, do we really care to see Solo Sikoa cash in on somebody? Like, no. Unless maybe he was going to do it on Jacob Fatu. Like, it would be kind of cool. He's carrying this briefcase and just throws out some smart comments. Throws out a little side eye, a little shade, and getting this man getting in his head. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't. And I think that'd be kind of cool. I've always kind of preferred the cash in on a heavyweight title, not a mid-card title. But in this instance, it would make sense. Then it brings me to LA Knight. Like you said, he's been chasing after the US title for a while. He needs to make it to the next level. And they don't seem to be moving the bar for him otherwise. And I think this is his shot. If they're really invested in him and they really think that they can see him being a heavyweight champion, then this is the way that they've got to do it. So this one is a little harder for me to call, but I am actually going to go. I'm torn between Solo and LA Knight, but I'm going to go LA Knight.
Okay.
I'm going to go LA Knight. I think it's the right call. I think that would be the right call in the long run.
In the long run.
Because again, whatever is going on with Solo and Jacob, even if Solo won, even if he did decide to ultimately cash in on Jacob Fatu, I don't know if that would be a successful cash in or not. And I'm just saying, like, and I'm also thinking, like, you keep saying, Steven, what kind of company TKO is. And I'm seeing a lot of chatter right now about the greed of TKO. And they're all about the bottom line. They're all about the money. More than anything, they're about the advertising. They're about what is going to line our pockets the best. And that is what ultimately concerns me about this. When you have a movie that you're trying to do that's a passion project and you're the director, you're the guy on the ground and you're trying to do it, and yet you present the dailies, a rough cut to the studio, and the studio's like, yeah, so like there was a Family Guy episode. I don't know if anybody saw this Family Guy episode where he was creating a cartoon with these ducks and what have you. And he had this passion project for it. And he presents it to the studio and they're laughing up a storm. And Peter was like, he's so excited. He's like, they like my stuff. And they go, yeah, so listen, this character, instead of having and I forget exactly what it is. Some of you might have remembered this, so forgive me for paraphrasing. Instead of the character having an apple for a nose, like a tomato for a nose, let's give it a plum. Let's make the nose a plum. All right, we'll just change the nose, and then we've got a deal. And Peter's all offended. He's like, "How dare you? This is my vision. You're trying to destroy my vision." And he doesn't want to go through with it. And I'm saying all this to say, like the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, I love that, by the way, Stephen. I absolutely love that.
Mr. TKO over here. Everybody's
I absolutely love that. Everybody's got a price for the $1 million. I can't do his laugh. I cannot do his laugh. I've tried for years.
You can. Yeah.
I'll try to work on it. But what I'm ultimately getting at here is they're about the dollar. They're about the bottom line. They're about who in this PLE is going to bank us the most money. And I just don't think it's anybody other than LA Knight at this juncture. Long term,
I don't mean to interrupt, but they've just reestablished the sort of extended advertising partnership with Slim Jim, by the way, too.
Oh.
That's
and
right.
Who's Mr. Slim Jim? Macho Man Randy Savage, but who's the current Mr. Slim Jim?
Snap into a Slim Jim.
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm. So listen, I don't mind corporate synergy if it means good things for LA Knight.
And that's all I'm saying. I don't really see Solo Sokoa on any of these commercials.
Gio, we're gonna get your super chat right now.
I don't see them. I don't see him getting any advertisement deals right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just don't see it. So yeah, let me go ahead and get down to the chat. Let me get to the super chats. Again, I apologize for not being able to get to everybody's chats. Prediction shows are a little tough.
A little tough.
But here we go. I believe this is the first super chat of the night, starting off right. None other than Gio Reyes.
What's up?
Hi, guys. Happy almost Friday. I like to call it Friday Eve, personally. So my predictions, Money in the Bank. Penta for the win of the men's Money in the Bank. And for the women, Alexa Bliss. All day. Fight me if you want to.
Wow.
Put up your dukes. Gio,
okay.
I like it, man.
Yeah.
And I think
it's
you know, the thing about Money in the Bank is a little tough for me to predict. I don't know how you guys feel about it, because my heart says one thing, who I would love to see it, and I think they deserve it. But I'm also thinking about this new TKO world. And I didn't think about it like that before. You know, but seriously, this TKO world has really got me in my feelings, because if they're going to keep interfering in what would ordinarily be a this, and then they decide to turn it into a that, this has implications.
You know what? I changed my prediction.
Uh-oh.
I'm thinking about it, and really, Solo doesn't have the backup that he used to. It's unless the Tongans come back, he really only has JC. And so if Roman or Jay get involved, that also may affect Solo to also, you know, because he's a part of their, they're not cool either. So now I'm thinking I might have to land on LA Knight as well.
Okay. But let me ask you a quick question. Is it just me? And I mentioned this, I think, briefly. Is it just me? Am I the only one that doesn't feel like JC fits in?
Oh, no, I don't think he fits in.
Is it just me?
You mean like as a gimmick, or just his general presentation?
Just in the bloodline.
Just in this, whatever this is.
Well, it would help that have come in.
It would help if he didn't dress like added security at NXT, trying to break up a fight between Ricky Saints and Ethan Page. Like,
that would help a lot.
He really. Listen, I don't know much about Jeff Cobb in his history, anyways. Like I heard a lot of hype about him coming in, and in those situations, I'm always thinking to myself, you know what? I'll just see the guy when he gets here, and I'll judge him based on what I see, and we'll go from there. You know, and the guys like Nakamura won me over as a result of that kind of stuff. You know, even though he's kind of coasting these days when he's on TV, but more power to him. He did a lot of strong stuff for a long time. I don't, oh gosh. And I always want to be kind to these performers. because it's so much of it is so much more than what it looks like. You know what I mean? And to call someone overrated does not mean that they're bad. It just means they don't live up to the hype. And sometimes the blame is on the hype, not on the person. Like, you know, the movie Titanic was overrated to me because people made too big of a deal out of it before I saw it. And I'm like,
all right, Pump Your Brakes, kid. That movie was a national treasure.
It was good, but it wasn't the best. It wasn't even the best picture that year. Anyway, that's another channel I'm talking about right now. So anyways, nevertheless, like I kind of don't get it with him right now. Like he has not, and listen, it's almost an impossible feat to be the guy who follows Jacob Fatu. And that's kind of not fair to him or anybody who'd be in that role. But that's the reality. Is it like he was the next bloodline dude after Jacob? And so Jacob came in and made Solo look like Jeff Cobb. And then and now Jeff Cobb's coming in and it's getting kind of diminished by being next to Jacob. Like it's just the reality of it. I feel like if he wasn't in the bloodline, he'd be a lot more impactful. Like if he had shown up on Raw, even if he had joined Seth and Bronson Reed and stuff, he'd probably look a little more vicious.
Yeah, I would have preferred that actually. Yeah.
It feels like maybe it's just not a good fit where he is, not in WWE, but just in that faction. No. So
I have no issue with him in WWE. I'm talking about the faction.
Yeah, and I don't love his finisher either. His finisher feels like a setup move to me.
Yeah, I agree with that. We're gonna have to. We won't be able to get into Worlds Collide. She's gonna have to dip out. So I do want to do this last one. This is the main event that we're assuming, but we do have another super chat right here. Three Kings. I think Revolution, my new name for Seth Group, since he's a revolutionary, and it reminds me of evolution. All right, is gonna get involved. Do we see Roman interfere?
I hope so.
I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. I see it. I wouldn't be mad at it. The problem is Seth has got a lot of man meat on the squad. If this was just him and Braun's Breaker, I'd be like, yeah, no problem. But you decided to go ahead and link up with Bronson Reed. Shh. That's a lot of firepower. And Roman is a man of one. Ma'am, I'm talking. Sorry, the channel mascots. Hold on one second.
Left her camera or something.
So that's a lot of firepower, quite frankly. And Roman is an island of one. And I hate to see him interfere and get beat up. And it wouldn't work. Like if you're gonna come in and guns of the Navarone, come in blazing, shoot your shot, chaos and anarchy, Seth is out. Anything other than that, I'm gonna be a little upset.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a little upset. If that makes sense. Steven?
About Roman? I maybe, which is such a non-committal answer. I will say I don't know. I don't know that we'll see him because I think there is enough beef in the back. No pun intended. Fighting beef, not Big E meat. Anyway, to come and interfere with Seth. I think you got Punk and you got Sammy back there who could come in and accomplish that mission. I do think Roman is waiting in the wings. I do feel like though Roman is a top level talent, so they may be saving him for primetime TV and bring him back on Saturday night's main event. Now, I will say one of two things. Either he makes his return at Saturday night's main event, or he does return this weekend and he has a match at Saturday night's main event because he is a selling point. And so the selling points in the company get that sweet NBC time. So he'll be, I think he'll be involved at Saturday night's main event in some form or fashion. So if he doesn't show up this weekend, I think he'll show up there. And if he does show up, I think we'll probably have a tag match, much like we did this past time, but maybe with Punk and Roman this time. Maybe Seth's not involved. Maybe it's Punk and Roman versus Reed and Braun. But anyway, that's jumping ahead. But if Roman's not here this weekend, he's coming soon. I think they're just biding their time.
All right, Chris Wrestling Views is up in the house. What up, Chris Wrestling
Hey,
Views?
Chris Wrestling Views.
I've job in 18 months. Yeah, I did hear a blurb about that. Sophie Dopey, we can talk about that tomorrow night for Friday Night SmackDown because we're a little limited on time today, but I do want to discuss that. Coach, Coach
Coach is a dummy.
Coach.
Who coached to say anything? Sorry.
This dude.
Coach is a wannabe dirt sheet writer.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, he's you talk about somebody that's grinding my gears right now.
He a fan.
By the way, I emailed you the trophy. So at the end of the night, let's award somebody the first trophy for super chats on our PLE Prediction Coalition show. I emailed it to you.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and round it out with the most likely main event. Here's what I'm talking about, folks. Here's what I'm talking about. We got ourselves a tag match. We saw this. Cody Rhodes comes back, brings out main event Jey Uso. John Cena comes out. Logan Paul comes out. And we got ourselves a situation. And I'm looking at this. And I'm saying to myself, I ain't feeling it. I hate to say it like that. I'm not feeling it. The most interesting thing about this match, and God forgive me for saying this, is Logan Paul. Because I like what I saw with him getting in John Cena's face a little bit, kind of pushing him and saying, hey, let's just go ahead and handle this. And then John Cena like rolls up on him like, boy, who are you?
Right.
You know, I'm old enough to be your daddy. You better back up. I kind of like that. But I'm not overly interested in this match because to me, there's really no point. It's just a tag match. I don't really care.
Right.
I don't really care. And I'm not sure what's going to happen in this match. You keep seeing Gunther coming in here, trying to talk to Jay. Cody Rhodes still eyeballing that title. Clearly, Logan Paul has got some ulterior motives. He's not going to really play well with anybody. I don't know how I feel about this. But if I were a betting man, and I'm going to say, because I didn't go first at all, so I'm going to just simply go first on this one if you all don't mind. If I were a betting man, I'm going to go Cody and Jay on this.
Okay. The way you was hemming and hawing, I thought you weren't.
Well, the thing is, what I saw at the end of that night was a little bit of, some melee going on. John Cena outside the ring, looking shocked and disheveled. And Cody, he's got the title. Jay's got his title. And John looked really like taken aback, which I liked. I like seeing what was happening. Cody just got back. And I think it would make him look a little too weak right now if he catches a loss. And it doesn't matter who actually catches the pin. And I don't really care if there's a tag match later on or something. Until Cody's back in the title picture, I don't really care if he wins or loses. But I think in the long term, Cody needs to remain looking strong. And I saw vulnerability. I saw something in John Cena that whatever's going on with him, as far as I'm concerned right now, he hasn't ruined anything except his heel run. And he could take the L. Now, I don't know who's going to take the actual pin, but I think Cody needs to remain strong in order for them to kind of go on down the line. And they're going to have another thing later on. And that's what I think about it. I'll have you finish it out. Steven, let me go to the missus over here. Dear, how are you feeling about this?
Yeah, I don't think anybody cares about this match in that sense of the world. I think for them, it was about getting John Cena on the pay-per-view, getting Jay on the pay-per-view, getting us interested in the Jay and Logan feud, and it's going to lead us back around to Cody and John again. So I don't sorry, I completely agree that you cannot bring Cody back and just have him lose after losing the title at WrestleMania in such an uneventful manner. And he needs to step it up in this match. I know that he had to take it easy on John because John don't go anymore, but Logan is going to come with it. Jay is trying to step it up and prove something. I don't expect that from John. He's doing us a favor with his last tour, but I need Cody to bring it with Jay because Logan brings it.
And I'll be honest with you, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not seeing it right. Maybe I don't have my spectacles on. But to me, John Cena, every time I see him in the ring as of late, he feels a little stiff.
Yes.
He doesn't look. Is it just me?
It's called being in your 40s and not taking bumps. Like, I mean,
okay,
it's just a fact of life.
He looks like the wrestling figure. Like he's the way he's shaped and moving. Like when you're wrestling with a wrestling figure.
The elite version. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And that's not a slam. Like he's wrestling like a guy who's in Hollywood now. He's wrestling like The Rock was at WrestleMania 28 and 29, which is not a slam on The Rock. Like that's what happens when you leave the ring and you don't have house shows anymore. And you can't get into rhythm. Like it is so much easier to get hurt and you move all wooden and stiff because everything hurts. Everything hurts because you're old and everything hurts because you're out of practice. It's a double whammy.
And it's making it's really bumming me out. You know, this heel run is bumming me out. The fact that he can't go, and it bums me out because when they show past matches when he was so much bigger and he moves so much more fluid, and then you just see this. I'm not gonna call him a shell of a man.
That's what you're thinking though. When
but
you look
I'm just
at the
saying
old stuff.
A shadow of his former self. How about that? It hurts me because I'm like, this is the last go around, and this is the best we're gonna get, and it really bums me out. You know, I'm like, this is we're 6 years in. I'm assuming 6 months in.
No, it feels like 60 years.
It feels like it's been 60
It's
years.
been 80. It's been 84 years.
You know,
2 Titanic references and wow.
You know, so yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not feeling this. Steven, what say you?
Yeah, Daniel Bryan would say that John Cena wrestles like a coward right now. Someone in the chat said he wrestles like he's wrestling not to get hurt. Deion Jenkins said that. And I mean, I think that's true. And I don't think that's a slam on him either. Like I think that's just the objective reality. All right. Keep it short. Cody and Jay take this. And I've got some addendums to this which I feel like might in retrospect end up being a dumb idea if they go this way, but I could see it happening. So I think Cody and Jay win. I think Cody pins Logan because we need to see Cody come out on top again. Jay's already beaten Logan and it's Money in the Bank. And there is going to be a men's briefcase holder before this match starts. So I feel like it wouldn't make sense for this show to end with one of the 2 world champions prone laid out in the ring.
Yeah.
So that's why I think Logan takes the pin. You bring up an interesting point, about the dissension in the ranks between Cena and Cody. Not Cena and Cody, Cena and Logan. Sorry. You know what? I wouldn't love it, but I would be interested to see it. I forgot there is a big show before Saturday night's main event in SummerSlam. It's Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia at the end of this month. They are big, and that's the big like showy show of title matches that don't really mean anything usually, at least at the top of the card, right? It's just that's where Roman fought Logan Paul. I can envision, if you can catch the vision with me, that their arguing comes to a head in the match, and Cena hits his inner Cartman and says, "Screw you guys, I'm going home." and leaves Logan to take a couple of finishers.
Yeah.
And he gets embarrassed, and Cena rehearses a match with Logan for Saudi Arabia.
Wouldn't be mad at that.
And we take another step towards just conceding that the Cena heel turn was a bad idea, because the fans want to say goodbye to him.
Yeah,
I don't think it was a bad idea. I think it was done.
Oh, you got muted.
I wouldn't have cared.
Oh, she said she didn't think it was a bad idea. She thought it was executed poorly.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
About a face Cena, I've seen face Cena come back every year on and off for whatever. I've seen it a million times. There's nothing special about that to me. I only wanted to see a heel Cena, and when he first did it, I was excited because he went hard in the paint, and then that was it. That was all he had.
Now that we've gotten it, I just don't want to see us. I'm just not interested in seeing a heel Cena who's not getting booed. I mean, like if the fans were in on that, I'd be all in on it too. Because I almost think if he went face, they'd boo him. Right? I don't know. Like there's no pleasing some of these fans. It's no pleasing.
There is no pleasing you.
But I could see Cena and Logan, because like I give them credit for pairing him up with Logan to try to get at least some level of hate pointed in Cena's direction. But the crowd is just doing the boo yay thing within one team.
Yeah.
Like at that point, they do not want to hate Cena, even though like they're finally giving you guys what you've asked for the past 10 years. Like, anyway, it was just, So, but also we got heel Cena because somebody wanted to turn Cody heel, and we said no. So that's another topic for another time. So it all just kind of
no, let's talk about it. Let's talk about no. I'm sorry.
Cody Raheem is in there, and it's not like Cody's never been heel. This isn't the time. Why would we do it this soon? It's
100%. You're absolutely right. That time will come. We'll get that time, and I think we just need to be patient with it, because like he is firing on all cylinders right now, and I think Cody beats Logan because we're not going to see Cody beat Cena until he gets the belt back.
Right.
It's just my thought. They're going to save that visual for whenever that happens, in my opinion. So yeah, Cody J for me.
Yeah, I got to tell you, the thing that also, and we differ on this. I'm not going to get into the rant, but ultimately another reason why this doesn't feel right. Like I said, we never got Cena's explained himself just to some degree, but we never got this explanation. We just didn't. So like we're starting off, to me, there wasn't one. So we're starting off on the wrong foot, and that just feels it feels hollow. The way he's moving feels hollow. This heel turn, like everything about this, the one thing people say in professional wrestling is that the crowd doesn't like a phony. They don't like a phony. They can smell it from a mile away. Be authentic, be real. Even if the reasoning that John Cena is giving us right now is a legitimate reason, which everything he said is not untrue, it's not sufficient to justify what's taking place right now. It's not sufficient to justify the highlights that we're seeing, and then we see this guy coming in here, and he just looks like he wants to rub some Bengay all over his body and sit in an ice bath. Like it's just, and you're doing the best you can with what you got. There's a part of me that kind of wishes, like The Rock, when he wrestled it last time, and he kept saying, "I did an 18-week training, hardcore, like whatever he did to get in the best ring shape that he could possibly get in with that short span of time." I think he did, pretty good, considering. That's another reason why. And I said this before, like with John Cena coming in here and he was not winning singles matches forever. Then you're going to keep coming back and giving promos and burning people. I don't care if you're going to have a match that you're going to lose. The burn doesn't mean anything. It doesn't carry any weight. And how do I know that's true? Because look around. Everybody that he's torched, he's lost to. Did it do anybody any good? No. So nobody a lick of good. So I don't care. So if you're coming in here and you're just doing whatever without, any real legitimate, let's start off on the right foot and carry this thing through. Why should I care in the way that the way that you would hope that we should care. And now we've got a wrestling crowd that's just so all over the place. I mean, who did they what the other day?
Who was talking and they did the what?
They whatted R-Truth a couple of weeks ago before he got released.
They whatted R-Truth, but I think it was a lady.
It was a lady.
It was Lyra, I think.
Talking.
Oh, it was a lot.
Yes.
Like you're coming out, woo, woo. The whole crowd's doing that, and they were getting what? Like in the same. Like it's only been 5 minutes. What are we doing? Like this wrestling crowd is just. There's something else, man. So there, it's everything right now is I don't know. It's presented in a way that's just it feels off. It just feels off to me. I can't say it any other way. Every time I look at John Cena and he comes out and he does whatever he does, I'm like, this feels off. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't feel.
Well, I like this last interaction with Logan Paul.
No, I liked it.
I also liked that he came and attacked Jay. I liked that. I thought that was kicking it up a notch. I thought that was
that needed that.
I thought that was a little extra, because it's like that he's got his own title. What are you like now? You're just picking on him because he's the favorite, So I liked that too. So I do like those things.
All right, we've got a super chat right here by none other than 3 Diglets. What's going on, 3 Diglets?
Diglets.
Good to see you. Let me see what you got to say, my man. Face Cena, heel Cena. He's still arse, ultimately. He's still. Okay, I had to censor myself.
He's still a ching-ching.
Truly. Truly. His face run would have been more than his heel run. But what do you want from the old timer? We've been known he only got 5 moves. You can't wrestle.
Careful what you say, you might get released.
I don't know what a face run would have done. I don't know if a face run, face Cena wasn't winning any titles. Let me say it like that.
Right.
Face Cena wasn't winning.
He wasn't even winning the match.
He wasn't winning the matches. He just was a loser.
I would have enjoyed face Cena cosplaying Rocky Balboa. When I say Rocky Balboa, I mean post Rocky 5, pre-Creed Rocky Balboa.
Yeah.
The guy that knows he doesn't have it anymore. But this would require him to be a better wrestler, though.
Yeah.
Because he would have to adjust the way he moves in the ring wise to account for the fact that he's not who he used to be. And I think that could have been really interesting. But, oh, well. What do I know?
Yeah, he's wrestling like somebody that's, look, this is how I used to do it. Let me show you kids a few moves, a few holds, and make it your own. And that's cool. That's cool. I respect that, man. But I don't want to see that at a WrestleMania. I'm sorry, I'm not paying WrestleMania ticket prices to see you teach us how to wrestle. I don't want to do it. 3 Diglets with another super chat, a follow up. Yes, sir. 3 Diglets. Thank you for that first and your second. WWE as a whole feels off because there's trouble in the back. Triple H and Rock not agreeing things messed everything up related to Cena in the future. We cooked, y'all. We cooked. We in the pan. We are on the fire, and they flipping our arses up. And they ain't even got no dang oil up in there. No olive oil, no coconut oil. We just burning on this damn pan. I added a little more to that. So let's enjoy the effort while he's here. Basically, what you're saying is he sucks. It is what it is. Let's just ride it out and enjoy the man and enjoy it for what it is. I guess that's all we can do.
So I have a class in 6 minutes. So I would like to, J Money, I do think Cena is going to give it back to Cody, and then I think Cody may lose it to Punk. So I think,
live with that.
but I do think Punk will get a title run. I would like for us to present the first ever winner. Did you download it? Did you get it? Of the PLE prediction shows Coalition Cup, Mr. 3 Diglets.
Congratulations, 3 Diglets. Congratulations.
It's already been on screen longer than the Heritage Cup these days. Congratulations.
That's all you. And I got to tell you, that's adorable. I absolutely love that. I absolutely love that. Congratulations. And thank you for those super chats. 3 Diglets. What the hell? What the hell? What the helly? What the helly? Yeah.
He held every title, every champion, everything.
So basically, he's what you call a Grand Slam champion.
You are the Grand Slam champion.
You are, you are our first Grand Slam champion. Congratulations.
3 Diglets is the Mercedes Monet of our group. I'm sure he'll be thrilled to hear that.
Oh my.
Did you see her the other day eating a steak, sipping some wine, holding about 6-7 belts?
That well done steak, that shoe leather. Are you kidding me? The woman don't know nothing about steak.
Yeah, I don't think she would have touched it. Yeah, man. That yeah. That was pretty wild. That was pretty wild. Congratulations. And I tell you what, nobody else you go on to their channel can tell you that you are in fact a Grand Slam champion. So congratulations to 3 Diglets. All right, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up. We're gonna be back for Friday Night SmackDown tomorrow night. Saturday, we're gonna be at Worlds Collide, and then live watch along for Money in the Bank.
But Mark by Wrestling will be doing a live watch along for Worlds Collide. And that's on the internet, right?
Thank you.
Steven?
Yes. It's posted. It's going to be posted on WWE's YouTube channel. So just have multiple browsers open, guys. We'll rock that thing. There is rumor that it's on Peacock as well. I have not confirmed that though. But it's definitely will be on WWE's YouTube channel as well.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm sorry we're not going to be able to run it down, but I'm excited. This is a new PLE.
But we could jump in the chat and give our little 2 cents while we're watching it.
For sure.
We can try. We'll see what service is like.
We'll see what the service is like.
And just to tease to the chat, after Money in the Bank, someone is going to run the table because Becky and I have picked all the same picks for the show. And AJ has picked. Well, I guess that's not true. I guess one of it we could miss something, but the only differentiation is A picking Lyra Valkyria.
That is correct. That is correct. Worlds Collide starts at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I got. So to run it down real quick, we're not going to go into the whys. Let's just quickly run down who our picks were. Steven, who were your picks for everything?
So
Money in the Bank?
Yeah. All right, my 2 briefcase holders going to be LA Knight and Naomi. I've got Becky Lynch as the new IC title winner for the ladies, and Cody and Jay winning in the main event.
Dear,
we ended up all having the same.
Okay, yeah. I mean, basically, well, and you said Naomi for the win.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we all said Naomi, didn't we? All said Naomi, and we all said LA Knight. I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, Jody Bennett.
Woo! What up, Jody?
What up?
Good to see you.
Jimmy.
As we are just dipping out. Thank you for your service, sir. Mm-hmm. So again, we are going to be live for Friday Night SmackDown tomorrow night. Worlds Collide. We will be at the actual arena, but we'll be vlogging that, so we'll be getting some footage for our members in regards to that. Then we're going to be live for Money in the Bank. Mark by Wrestling is going to be live streaming watch alongy for Worlds Collide.
Watch alongy for Worlds Collide. And if you are our member, we did our podcast did come out, and we posted in the members lounge our interview with Minnie Portable. And we actually will ultimately be setting it live to everybody. We just wanted to give the members a go at it first for a few days.
That's right. We're finishing up a little promo video. Y'all will see that shortly. LA 3 Diggler says, don't tell me y'all picked LA Knight because of that mural of LA Knight choking Cena.
I've got to see this now. This is the first I've heard of it.
Oh no, I've got to see that. Where's that?
No, but I'm not familiar with that.
I don't know, but my class starts in 1 minute, so I'm gonna have to be out, y'all.
All right, we're gonna dip out. Thank you all so much for joining us for Money in the Bank predictions. Thank you very much, Steven. Let the people know where they can find you.
Always, you can find me at Mark by Wrestling right here on YouTube. Find me on Instagram and TikTok, screen.stream.shelf. We talk movies. We do that over there. But I'll see you guys Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon at lunchtime for some Worlds Collide. It'll be spicy.
Spicy a meatball. All right, folks. Thank y'all so much to our mod squad for keeping an eye on everything. Our members, our subscribers. We are climbing for everybody that reached deep down into the pocket and said, because we love, we will show love with the generosity of a super chat. Thank y'all so much. We hope we are number one in your hearts because you are absolutely number one in ours. Steven, just hang out real quick. We'll just say a quick goodbye after we dip on out of here. We will catch you all a little later. Wesley Franklin, it is always a pleasure to see you, my friend. Thank you all so much for showing support and love to the channel.
Yes.
And we will catch you all tomorrow night. Good night.
Good night.